available in collaboration with the federal government up to 50 million naira grant of what we call school improvement grant. Any SBMC in any of our schools can apply, but they are required to put down 5% counterpart funds, either in cash or in labor, in free labor. So if the community doesn't have the money, they offer to do the labor. So the money is actually given to the SBMC to carry out this project.
What is SBMC?
SBMC is the School-Based Management Committee.
Okay.
And so we have them across all our schools. And so we are
What has been the response from the communities?
Oh, fantastic. In some of our schools, the SBMC will hire a cleaner. They don't want their children to clean. We say, fine. Government cannot do everything. In other schools, SBMC will buy lawn mowers for mowing the lawn. We tell them now that we are planning to reopen school in the next couple of months, we are already sending out a word to our SBMCs.
And that lawn mower will be built into the counterpart fund?
Yes. So it's both. Some donated this on their own, or maybe an illustrious son or daughter of the community donated it. Okay. For counterpart fund, the amount ranged from 250,000 to 7 million. For instance, in one of our schools, Iyamo Primary School in Esako West, they got 2 million.
Iyamo,
yeah. They got 2 million. Okay. And they said they were going to build a library, a school library. Some other...
Did they pay any counterpart fund for that?
Yes, like I said, that's the only requirement. Either 5% of the amount or you donate labor. Okay. So that means you are not going to charge labor for the project. Okay. And again, I want to emphasize that it is the SBMC that carry out the project. Okay. Once they apply, they get it, they will go and open a school account. The head teacher of any of the school is the treasurer. Okay. The money does not come to SUBEB. It does not reside within SUBEB. Our role is just to disburse and monitor that they use the money for what they're using it for. So counterpart funds, some schools have used it for furniture. Because that was one of the things we started this February, Operation No Child on the Floor. Because when we go around and we see children sitting on the floor, there's no way they can learn. Edo best or no Edo best. A child sitting on the floor is not conducive. And so our goal is by the end of this year, by God's grace, we would have taken every child from the floor and put them on a chair so that they can learn well. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Joan Osa-Oviawe is just, the way she's putting the information across, it's like everything is easy at Edo Best. But when we come back, she's going to tell us about the challenges that she's grappling with. Please stay with us.
In Mokwede. This is my Edo Best story. Prior to 2018, I was a classroom teacher in Obo Oduma Primary School in Iyewe, Onwa East Local Government area in Edo State. In 2018, I went to attend the pilot phase training of the Edo Best Digital Teachers Training in Benin. And I want to use my t-shirt to tell my story. This was a t-shirt I was given when I was trained to become a digital teacher in 2018. You can see it's written, I'm a digital teacher, not an analog teacher. Shortly after, I attended the training to become a learning and development officer, and this is the t-shirt I was given, where I was supporting teachers in school. This is the t-shirt. A few months after, I was promoted to SUBEB to become an instructional oversight officer in quality assurance department, providing critical data for decision making, where I do data analysis using Excel, Google Sheets. I've gone for different trainings, and it's been a very interesting journey so far. From a classroom teacher in 2018, prior to 2018, that had no experience when it comes to using of the computer, how to do data analysis. In a space of 2 years, the Governor Obaseki-led administration and the SUBEB, led by Dr. Joan Osa-Oviawe, have given me the opportunity. They've trained me equipped me and given me the opportunity to continue to support our teachers in schools, ensuring that effective teaching and learning is taking place in all primary schools in Edo State, ensuring that every Edo child is learning in Edo State. And this is my Edo Best story.
I joined this school 2014, and ever since I joined the school has always been seen by people as a dead school because of how it looks. But I have this great hope that one day, the school, Government Science and Technical College Benin City, is going to be a great place for learning for technical students that will help me stand side by side with any other students in the world. Although my parents are dead, my mom and my dad, but I have my sisters who are taking good care of me. They are sponsoring my bills in school. I'm happy now that what I have before as a vision, that vision which I have before, has come to reality, and we give God all the glory.
You're welcome back. I would like to say a big thank you to our viewers for their positive comments and encouragements that will be coming in. Now, Dr. Joan, there is a strong girl child education component in the Edo Best program. How do you go about this?
Well, I think we are very fortunate in Edo State that the culture of our state, at least at the basic level, particularly between primary 1 and primary 6, we find that there is almost gender parity. So that is the ratio of boys to girls is almost equal.
Yeah.
So we don't really have that problem. It's only when you start moving to secondary school, you start seeing more girls falling behind and whatnot. But for us, we are. And then we've also, the other aspect is we've also really tried to create a conducive learning environment for both boys and girls. Because even as we talk about the girl child in education,
yes,
I don't know if you are aware, there's also what is called the boy crisis in education. Where because you've had decades now where there has been focus on girls, on girls' education,
yes,
it's like the boys are being left behind. So for us, we want to carry everybody along, both boys and girls. What is most important for us is to create an environment where every child can comfortably express themselves in the classroom.
Okay. Now, what are the challenges that you are grappling with?
The challenges are enormous. I will not sugarcoat it. What has helped us so far is His Excellency Governor Obaseki. The political will is hard to say, I'm going to do this, and there's not going to be any it's the same rules for everybody. Because one of the things I found out, which was quite surprising to me, is that everybody knows a teacher. Everybody is related to a teacher one way or the other. And so when it comes to, for instance, issues of accountability, issues of transferring, issues of other, like professional development, it used to, before Obaseki came on board, it used to be that To go for professional development training as a teacher, you have to know somebody, you know, and so the same set of people were going for training. Now it's open to everybody. You understand? It's also the mindset. Another challenge is we came into a system that was already established and bad habits had been developed. And so sometimes getting adults to do away with bad habits can be a task. But again, this is where the fact that everybody saw the body language of the governor, so that he was very serious about basic education. He was not interested in compromising it. He was not interested in politicizing it. And so many people had no choice but to start doing the right thing. Resource is always an issue because we live in a low resource environment. And it's to the immense credit of His Excellency, Governor Obaseki, that Edo State has been able to do as much as it has done in an environment of national recession, national economic recession. Now with the COVID-19 pandemic, we are already seeing the signs of a global economic recession. So with very little, we've learned to do very little to accomplish a lot.
Okay. Now, this is the best. Who conceived it? You or the governor?
Oh, it's the governor.
It was the governor's idea?
It's the governor's idea, yes. This is his vision. He said, like I told you in 2017, when he had that workshop, that he wants to reenact basic education. He would always say, in his generation, they all went to public schools. Whether you were from an affluent home or you were from a struggling home, everybody went to the same public schools. And that made a difference. And so the idea of Edo Best is that the governor wanted to bring back the glory of education. Edo State was, as always, historically, be at the epicenter of quality education in Nigeria. From when we were Midwest region to Midwest State to Bender State to now Edo State. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, now there's been an exodus from private to public schools.
Yes.
How did it come about?
It's amazing. Well, even parents, it's like what we are doing in public schools now are some of the things they are doing in private schools. So why? And it's free. So for parents, for many parents, there are several testimonials from parents who say, you know, there was one woman in particular, she said her daughter was in a private school, she couldn't read, and then eventually out of frustration, she even got a tutor for the child, and she still could not read, and eventually she just said she's going to dump her in a public school and forget about it. And fortunately for the mom and the child, it happened to have been one of our Edo Best schools. And she said she was shocked that within 8 weeks, her daughter in primary 1 was starting to read. So our goal is that every child from primary 1 up should be able to read. And by the time you're in primary 6, you should be a fantastic writer. You should be able to compose a fantastic essay. So that's the goal we are moving towards. We are using the Nigerian National Curriculum as our basic minimum. So our target is global. The best schools. Finland, we had a delegation from Finland. Finland of all places. The whole world wants to go to Finland to learn. Finland came to see what we are doing in Edo State with Edo Best. Rwanda came. Again, when you talk about who has it together in Africa, it's Rwanda. They came. Liberia came. Lagos has come, and the governor of Lagos State has said very proudly that he's adopting what we are doing in Edo.
Oh, yeah?
Ekiti has also come. We had India was supposed to come, but with the COVID-19, it had to be postponed. So in the 2018-2019 academic section, we had a massive influence in the thousands of pupils from private schools to our public schools. So we were excited, but it's also a challenge to us because we don't want our classroom sizes to become unwieldy, because then learning will not take place. Effective learning will not take place. So we are now also, as part of our ongoing improvement work, we are now also planning to retrain all our head teachers again on school management, to let them know that every school has there are some of our primary schools where the population is over 2,500 children. So we are now going to be holding our HMs accountable to say, look, when you have reached your marks, don't admit new pupils. Because I went to a school and I saw children sitting on the floor, and I was like, but we just brought furniture. So what happened? And then I was not told that, oh, they had by 100 or 200 new pupils. I said, why did you admit them? Oh, but the community said, I said, you should have let us know. So there's still a lot that we have to do in terms of training, in terms of systemization, to say, okay, what is the communication point between SUBEB and our schools, and then from them to us. Because people were so used to, for the longest time, it was really a jungle out there. Like the governor used to say, SUBEB was more or less, when he came into office, SUBEB was more or less like a transaction place. You come in, you do the contracts for renovation and building of schools, and that was it. But that is one thing we are doing now. In fact, a lot of my time and energy is spent less on contracts and more on the academic side of things.
Okay. Now, you said you have a way of monitoring your teachers wherever they are. Do you also monitor the assignments that they give to their pupils? Why? Because most of their counterparts in private schools, parents complain that that their children are saddled with too much assignments. Some of these assignments, some parents say they can't even attempt it. Yes.
That's a great question.
Yes.
Right now, we are not the way we monitor the assignments they give is through the continuous assessment of people. For instance, one of the things that teachers had to do, even during the COVID-19 partial lockdown, was those who had not entered in the scores of their pupils for all the assignments had to do that. But certainly, in fact, one of the things I was mentioning earlier, that we now have EduBest at Home, where we try to teach online. One of the outcome of that is that even when school resumes fully offline, we plan to keep EduBest at Home, because we found that it's actually very useful, and it's a way for us to continue to offer remedial learning opportunities to many people. So you go to school, you learn, you come home, the lessons are on the website, you access them through your parents' smartphone, and you continue to learn. So there's still a lot, we've done a lot, there's still a lot in our pipeline that we want to do.
Okay, somebody, Kingsley Edosawa, is saying, because people were saying that there is no light in schools, how do you track this simply shown on their tablet as a device that you are using because there's no light?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So the device we are using is bespoke to our needs. First, we didn't get your typical tablet because we don't want a situation where, we wanted a situation where the tablet does not have second-hand value to minimize the opportunities for theft. So it's really tailored to what the teacher has to do, the content and what they do in school. And because all the information in the tablet is stored on cloud, so even for whatever reason the teacher misplaces that tablet or it malfunctions, all that content will not be lost. Secondly, the head teachers, like I said earlier, have tablets, have smartphones. And so the head teacher uses their smartphone to interface with the tablet of the teachers through Bluetooth technology. So with Bluetooth technology, we don't have to incur additional cost of data. So the only person that government provides data for is the head teacher. So because like I don't know, I didn't mention this, but part of what we do now is that we centrally develop the lesson notes so that for both urban and rural schools, they are learning exactly the same thing. If you go to any of our schools, on a given day, during any given subject period, every child, both in urban, rural, riverine, are learning the exact same thing. And so we use Blue technology to communicate. The HM draws the content from cloud, and then distributes it by syncing with the tablets of the teachers. Also, we provide power banks. And so when you charge this tablet, they have a lifespan of 5 days, the battery lifespan.
When it's fully charged?
When it's fully charged, so that many teachers in the rural and remote communities tend to come to the cities or urban areas during the weekend. So when they come, wherever they are charging their own personal phone, they can also charge their teachers' tablet. Also, the governor had also last year kicked off an initiative to provide solar power to rural communities. I mean, schools in rural communities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But this is just the much we can take. I know you have a lot to tell us. Don't worry, we'll bring you back again just shortly before the elections. All right. So that is the much we can take on today's edition of the program. We'll just take our last break now. We'll come back. We'll go to our page to see what is happening.
My name is Esiosa Igaro. I am a pupil of Adil Suwa Primary School in Benin City. Anytime I'm going to school, I am full of excitement. I am excited because of the beauty of my school. Our classrooms are well furnished, and of course, our teachers teach us very well. Our teachers with new techniques and electronic devices have made learning very easy and fast. I cannot wait again tomorrow.
Listen to this. On the 5th of October 2019, thousands of teachers gathered at the Eagle Square, Abuja to honor Governor Godwin Obaseki as their best performing governor. This is because Governor Obaseki's reaching redemptive measures have created the right environment with the introduction of Edo Basic Education Sector Transformation, Edo Best Program. Under the Edo Best Program, 11,300 teachers have been trained in ICT. 11,300 towns have been distributed. 891 schools have been covered. 269,000 pupils are benefiting from Edo Best. Liberia, Rwanda, Sierra Leone have visited to adopt the model, while states in Nigeria, including Lagos, have also visited and are said to adopt the model. Pupils learn 3 times more of what they used to learn. Edo teachers are the third group of workers in the world to work with Facebook Workspace. 1,200,000 instructional materials have been distributed, and there is community ownership of schools. Governor Obaseki is changing the people's socio-economic destinies with robust basic education in Edo State.
You're welcome back. So, Dr. Joan, we'll go to our page now to see if we have any questions or positive or negative comments. Okay, this is coming from one of our regular viewers on the program. Stella Grace Cole, she says, I suggest teachers should be on such as continuous professional development to always increase their knowledge and impact on the people.
Absolutely.
Okay.
In fact, the ongoing teacher professional development that is taking place in Edo State has prompted His Excellency to now actually revamp the colleges of education in Edo State. So we are going to now have one college of education with 3 different campuses, and the continuous professional development of our teachers will be housed in the colleges of education.
Okay. And maybe this person joined us late. Usually I don't take 2 questions, but I'll take this. Izerige Elizabeth Odio says, does Edo Best involve every public school in the state?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And this one is coming from, okay, I think same person, Odio Izerige. She says, I am so emotional right now because all through my primary and secondary education, I never got the opportunity or the chance to experience these things. And here we have a governor that has deemed it fit to ensure that the educational system or sector is running properly, bringing a smile to the faces of pupils and students and teachers and even the parents by ensuring quality education. Obaseki is a man of the people. That is what Izewigi Elizabeth Onjel has said. Well, we'd like to say a big thank you to you for coming on the program. And like she has said, she did enumerate the 5 pillars of do best. She says management of the system, teachers, professional development, and of course the quality assurance. She also spoke about the curriculum and learning outcome, community involvement or community engagement, and private partnership. And lastly, she spoke about the infrastructural development like the playgrounds and of course the furniture. So Dr. Joan Oviawe, of course you do have a lot to tell us, and I believe that you are going to join us again very soon to, to put pay to a lot of things.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
All right, so on behalf of everybody that has worked behind the scene to ensure that we had a good program, I say good job you. My name is Habiba Oyere Oyarekwa. Good job me.